Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president again.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Major Idot of the 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Monday. A lot going on, a lot of anticipation for tomorrow with Alligator Alcatraz opening up, and President Trump is going to be there. So I'm going to try to cover that. I still don't know what time that's going to happen. But we shall see. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Elon and Trump heating up again. Very interesting because just a few days ago, I was told by super pro MAGA people that think that Donald Trump operates with like 4D chess. They were like, this is all cooked up by Elon and Trump. This is all planned by them. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, they're really fighting. Just understand that they are really fighting. It's okay. It's not a big deal. And a lot of these MAGA people are like, no, this was all part of the plan, guys. This is all part of the plan so Elon can go back to being a private citizen. I'm like, shut up. Good Lord. No, it's not part of the plan. Trump was not playing 4D chess. Elon and Trump legitimately have beef. Now, Trump, I think, is handling it far better than Elon. But we're going to get into all of that right there. But as I said, I mean, if you just look at the things that Elon said about Trump, there was no way it was a work. And I thought people were being nonsensical for believing that it could possibly be a work. But we're going to get into that. Yes, Elon's going ham right now over the big, beautiful bill. Let's see. Let me see, man, these usernames are just difficult to read with the ats because it's YouTube's way of changing everything. The big beautiful bill. Let's see. Big beautiful bill passed the Senate on the House, going to his desk on July 4th. That's what Trump wants. We'll see if that actually happens. But that's what Trump has asked for. DJ Fisty for $1. Mod Eric says, for the last day of Pride Month, if a regular couple needs a marriage license to get married, what does a lesbian couple need? A liquor license. I've never heard that joke before. DJ Fisty says, happy birthday, Jeremy. Forgot the date, but it is your month. Hey, I will, if people want to think it's my birthday month, send me super chats. I'm okay with that. Okay. Football frequency becomes a new member. Thank you. Get Shardy becomes a new member. Thank you. Sleepies becomes a new member. Thank you. Taker says, if America has never been great, therefore cannot be made great again, then Democrats admit they have never made America great for anyone. Don't start using logic for, don't start using logic for the Democrats. They don't like that. Johnny the Whiz Kid says, what's the site where you review and grade movies? Criticless. Here, I can pull that up right now. Hang on. Oh, I got to sign in. Why do I have to sign in? Stupid Google signing me out of crap. Okay, here we go. So, where's my profile? Here we go, right here. Criticless, right here. You're going to go follow me over there. I have 29 reviews over here. So you will enjoy it. They have an Apple and an Android app, and a lot of the G&G crew is over there. So help me get to 1,000 followers over there. I want to be, I don't know if I'd be the first, but help me get to 1,000 followers over there. But that's it right there. Mods will probably drop links. Key Weston says the Trump versus Elon beef can only be settled one way. Battle of the Billionaires 2. Let's go. Battle of the Billionaires 2. I am all for it. John freaking Murdoch 450 says, happy birthday, Jeremy. I never thought you were my type, the type to claim a whole month for your birthday. Sounds so feminine. Hey, I will do whatever it takes to grift, okay? Because I have to live up to the reputation, all right? The reputation that Twitter has set for me. It's the reason that I just defend Trump no matter what, even though that doesn't actually happen, because people accuse me of that at all. All the time. They just say, like, Jeremy just blindly supports Trump. And I'm like, so then that just motivates me to just support Trump even more, because these people are fucking lunatics. So yeah, I will be a grifter. If that's what Twitter wants to call me, then I will just own it 100%. Because I don't know, that's just how I operate. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. I appreciate it. D-Day developer Cobra. That's one of my favorite new memes that we have created. Vault95 says, true hero, going live, saved me, mini from Timmy. Thank you, Vault95. Jared the American says, happy 57th birthday to my mom. Now grift Jeremy. Hey, happy birthday to your mom. That is awesome. Okay, so we got a couple things to get to. First and foremost, if you did not see, last night we launched the official CobraCast merch on Teespring. That is the official CobraCast logo. We have hoodies and t-shirts over there. You scroll down and you'll see the t-shirts over here. That is, I love this logo. Such a great logo. So CobraCast logo. There you have it. Keenan says, now that looks cool. I really love it. I love this logo. It's pretty great. Let me see, open a new tab. So right there. There we go. So pretty cool. I love that logo. It's a badass logo. Mo Monty says, got to definitely order that. Hell yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys go over there and check that out. If you're interested, that is in the pinned post. If you're interested, go check that out. But we got stuff to talk about. And Elon having a day right now, and he's not happy. He's not happy, and he's been going off all day long. Elon Musk swears vengeance in last-ditch effort to kill Trump's big, beautiful bill and demands a new political party. So You know, here's the thing, man. I don't care that Elon disagrees with Trump. I think that you should be able to, you should just voice your displeasure with Trump directly. Instead, he's decided to take this public, and it comes off very much like an ex-girlfriend, like a scorned lover. Elon Musk is very much emotionally broken over this issue right now. And he's been tweeting about it all day long, and he just continues to make it worse and worse and worse. So like right here, he said, if this insane spending bill passes, the America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uniparty so that the people actually have a voice. Okay? So I, quote tweeted him. I said, in other words, help Democrats, because that's essentially what this does. It's just going to help the Democrats. You know what I mean? So, and then I said, Trump is more popular than ever. This is so stupid. You acting like a jealous ex-girlfriend only helps Democrats. And that's where I stand on it. Now, of course, anytime I do the very thing that people say I never do, they freak out. So I've seen people go in the comments and go, "Oh, Jeremy, you're turning on Elon now?" It's like, you don't know what it means to disagree with somebody. Elon Musk is a genius. Elon Musk saved online speech. Elon Musk might have helped save America. It doesn't mean that I can't have a disagreement with the man. But leftists build this up in your mind where if you disagree with someone, you're the worst human ever, and you've turned on them and you hate them now, all of that. I think Elon is acting very, very ridiculous right now in what he's doing and what he's saying. He's also intentionally, quote tweeting and retweeting people that are directly against Trump. And then you had a story today where Fox News comes out with this story where basically they were like, an ex-friend of Elon Musk claims that he is going to do everything in his power to destroy President Trump. Now, Elon did comment on this, but I want to play you the video from Fox News, or the clip from Fox News that they shared first. And it's really interesting because Elon's behavior, it definitely points in the direction that he seems like he wants to destroy Trump. That's what he's going for right here. Humiliated. A former friend of Elon Musk reveals why the fences may not be fully mended between the billionaire and real Donald Trump as the president pushes to pass his big, beautiful bill through Congress. And here it says, Musk's former friend warns billionaire will do everything to damage Trump. And then it continues, knowing Elon the way I know him, I do think he's going to do everything to damage the president. It's a person named Philip Lowe. He has been humiliated. Elon has wooed enough of Trump supporters to be an actual threat politically. Now, Elon commented and said fake news. So he did address this, and he said this is fake news. Now, there's already a red flag when you say a former friend of Elon Musk. Former friend, that is a massive red flag. When a former friend is saying something about someone, that's already a massive, massive red flag for me. So I don't necessarily believe this person, but I believe the actions of Elon, and Elon's actions definitely do show that that's exactly what he's trying to do. Look at what he said about Epstein. I know he deleted the tweet. I know that he gave a half-ass apology for it, but it did happen. And that's not something you can just sweep under the rug. He also said that Trump should be impeached and removed from office, and that J.D. Vance should take over. These are things that you can't just, ignore. These things happened, and they're not good. And you have all of this stuff going on right now with how Elon is strategically, warming up to people like Massey and Rand Paul and others. So it's not looking good. You know, it does look like that there's something going on. However, I don't believe a former friend. I believe the former friend is just trying to manipulate the situation and looking at it for what anyone with a couple of eyes and ears can see and hear. And then he's trying to pretend that he knows something more, but in reality, he probably knows nothing more at all. Now, the problem here with Elon is Elon Musk is a genius. He's the richest man in the world. He's a legendary figure. He's an iconic figure, and he will go down as an iconic figure. He's not anywhere close to Trump. He can't touch Trump. He can't do anything. What was it? Was it Michigan or Wisconsin? I think it was Wisconsin, where Elon basically was the front person, and that was it the judicial race, and Elon had no impact whatsoever. Couldn't even pull that one off. You know, ultimately, what I would, in terms of politics, just politics, okay, just politics. What I would compare Elon to, and some people will get this and some people won't. Elon Musk in politics with Donald Trump is like Bill Belichick with Tom Brady. But when Bill Belichick didn't have Tom Brady, Bill Belichick couldn't do shit. Well, Donald Trump would be Tom Brady in this equation, and Elon Musk would be Bill Belichick in politics. And without Trump, Elon is irrelevant to the political system, and Donald Trump is still Donald Trump or Tom Brady. That is ultimately how this plays out. So, you know, Trump, I just look at it, and Trump has not said anything overly disrespectful about Elon Musk publicly. He allowed him to come to the White House. He allowed him to be in the Oval Office. He allowed his fucking kid to jump around in the Oval Office. He allowed his kid to do all this stuff, and that's fine. It's because Trump likes Elon. But for Elon to disrespect Trump publicly, I think shows a level of disrespect that I can't take you seriously if you're being this disrespectful publicly to a person that embraced you and, you know, brought you into the fold and showed you all of this respect, and you're publicly disrespecting the president of the United States of America. I think that's bullshit. Somebody says, dude, the big beautiful bill is terrible. I'm glad you read the whole thing. I'm glad you did. I'm sure you probably thought that we were going to be in World War III. I'm sure you were probably crying all the way up until the election saying Trump is Hitler and all of that. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've read the big beautiful bill, but I'm glad everybody on fucking Twitter has. Everybody on Twitter has read it, and everybody on Twitter they're pretty much an expert right now. I spent the last hour reading the big beautiful bill. Everybody's a fucking expert. Well, I'm glad you're an expert, but if you were such an expert, why the fuck are you watching a retard like me? That would be my first question. If you're so smart and you understand all the details and the nuance of the big beautiful bill, why the fuck are you watching someone as retarded as me? That would be my question. Clearly you're not that smart. I've read the big beautiful bill, Jeremy, and I know all of the answers because my favorite podcaster said that there was a line in it and this was happening. Well, congratulations. I haven't fucking read it. And you haven't either, motherfucker. But you heard someone say that it was bad. Bottom line, do you know what I do know about the big beautiful bill? That it's going to be able to get all of these illegal immigrants out of this country. And that is a big priority for me. A huge priority for me. So that's one of the very few things that I'm worried about in reference to this. So, so anyway, D what says, I legit despise locals. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Read page 199 and no tax on tips and Social Security and overtime, right? That's in the big beautiful bill. But Jeremy, the spending. Okay, yeah. The spending is so bad. Okay. There you go. Great. And the fuck you want me to do about it? What am I supposed to do? Support Rand Paul? Okay. Where's it at? AOE2 Freak for 10 says, hail Jeremy and the chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Rate the Leader for 20 says, happy birth year, you fig. Hey, do super chats count as tips? I don't know. But I'm hoping. I have hoped that for a while. I have no idea. If it's bad, it's bad. Poor take, Jeremy. No, it's not. If you think it's bad, that's fine. What I'm saying is I'm going to support President Trump and his agenda because I voted for him. So I'm not a feminine loser who thinks that every single thing needs to be perfect for me to continue to support someone. As I said, I criticized Trump for the Iran strikes. I didn't like it. Guess what? Trump was right, because Trump usually is right. But again, you go on social media, you go on Twitter, and everyone is a fucking expert. Everyone is an expert. If everyone is an expert and everyone knows the answer, no one could be wrong. Because on one side, you have the pro-MAGA people saying, this bill is perfect and there's not a single problem. I'm an expert. And then you have the other side saying, this bill is the worst thing ever, and I've read it all, and I'm an expert. So who's right and who's wrong? The person that's an expert that says that it's bad, or the person that's an expert that says it's good? Who's wrong? Who's right? You tell me. Everyone's a fucking expert. You know who I support? President Trump. Preon Corp says, bless your heart, Jeremy. Which Coke is better, Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow? I gotta say, man, Mellow Yellow was pretty damn good back in the day, but Mountain Dew is just Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? So Mellow Yellow is really good, though. I really loved Mellow Yellow back in the day. Now, going back to this, this Elon thing, I think that Elon Musk is losing a ton of credibility, because I think if he never would have said the Epstein thing, I think if he never would have said to impeach Trump and remove him and have JD Vance take over, I think he has a lot more credibility on this specific topic. But because he said those things and he became emotionally compromised, I don't think many people are taking him very seriously right now in respect to this. So I think that it's all about credibility. It's all about, when you bring Epstein into it, at that point in time, I think most logical people looked at this and said, if you knew Trump was on the Epstein list, and you're implying, because this is exactly what Elon was doing, all right? He was implying something worse. There's some type of legal term for this. You're basically through implication or something like that. It's basically defamation through implication, I believe is what it's called. And he was implying something far worse than just Trump being on the list, which is something we've already known for years because of the business associations that they had. But he was implying something far worse in that tweet. So that opens up more questions towards Elon than it would Trump. At that point, you go, well, when did you know this, Elon? And why are you waiting till now to say it? And why did you let your kid hang around President Trump if you're implying that he's guilty of something worse? So the conversation really was less about Trump, and it moved more to Elon about well, if you had this information, why are you just now releasing it? And it completely backfired on him, and he's learning that. So, and it sucks. It does. It sucks because, again, I respect Elon Musk. I'm thankful for Elon Musk. And, but whatever's going on with him right now, I don't know. I also, it always was weird to me that these two men who have massive egos are not a bad thing, by the way. Most successful people, most successful men have egos. All right. Now, there's this little fucking fairy tale that the leftists tell you egos are bad. No. Egos are good. All right. Leaders have egos. Great men have egos. And that is why they are great. All right. I don't need this leftist fucking everybody gets a fucking trophy bullshit. Egos are a good thing. You know who had an ego? Michael Jordan. You know who had an ego? Kobe Bryant. You know who had an ego? Walt Disney. Yeah, I know a lot of people think Walt Disney was just this great, wonderful guy. Walt Disney was brutal to his artist. He was a fucking savage. He never said good job to them. He always made them strive to be greater because he demanded greatness. Tom Cruise has an ego. So miss me with the ego is bad. So you have these two men who have giant egos. I'm surprised that they were able to work together at all. I'm thankful that they did. And now here we are. I mean, I've had some interactions with people, bigger YouTubers that, you know, like have tens of millions of subscribers. I've had some interactions with them. I've had interactions with celebrities. And these people live in a different galaxy, man, like a different galaxy. Their concept of reality is just nowhere near mine. And they're nowhere near Elon Musk. Elon Musk is in a stratosphere all by himself. So I can't even imagine what it would be like to have a consistent day-to-day interaction with Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, one of the most brilliant human beings on the planet. He's putting rockets into space. He's creating self-driving cars. He's creating robots. This dude is next level. I can't even imagine what it would be like to even try to have a normal conversation with this guy. So for him and Trump, you know, to coexist for the short time that they did, I'm very thankful for that. And I'm not looking to go like, oh man, we need Elon and Trump working together again. It's just not, it's not happening. It's over. And people need to accept that. The Trump, Elon, you know, fandom, friendom, whatever you want to call it. We got it when we needed it most. I think Elon was manipulative in the whole situation anyway. I don't think Elon actually cared about Trump or MAGA. I really don't. I think that Elon saw a great opportunity to capitalize because I've repeated this before. If you remember, Elon Musk started to put his full support behind Trump the day Trump got shot. The day Trump stood there and held up a fist and said, fight, fight, fight. That is the day that Elon Musk gave his full support of President Trump. Now, why did he do that? He did that because he realized Trump will win. He will win. There's no doubt. This man just got shot and he stood up and said, fight, 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 with blood running down his face. You can't beat this guy. So Elon saw the opportunity. And that right there was the moment where he said, I'm going to fully back Trump because he's going to win anyway. So I might as well just jump on the bandwagon. And that's fine. And so it lasted. Trump got elected. Thankfully, Elon bought Twitter and allowed us to get to that point, because here's the reality of the situation. If Elon doesn't buy Twitter, when Trump gets shot in Butler, I don't know if it has the same effect, because I believe that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram would have censored that, and it would not have gotten the mass, viral nature that it did if Elon doesn't own Twitter. Do you remember there was a couple of headlines initially when Trump got shot? There was a couple of headlines from websites that says gunman dies in attack at Trump rally. That was the headline. I'm not even kidding. I'm not making that up. It says gunman dies in attack at Trump rally. And I'm like, holy crap, dude. These people are so corrupt. It's unbelievable. You remember that, Jessica? Yes, it was unbelievable. That's the level of corruption we were dealing with. Bradley says, Trump fell after loud noises. Yes, that would have been a headline. Trump falls after loud noises at rally. And they would have made it like Trump's ability, like cognitive ability or whatever. They would have been like, Donald Trump falls down after loud noises. It scared him. It scared him. It was. But yeah, so sadly, this is where we're at. So Elon is basically saying that he's going to create a new party, and all that's going to do is help Democrats. That's really all it's going to be. Now you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of influencers go silent because they want to stay connected to Elon. They want to stay in the good graces of Elon, and more power to them, I guess. But, you know, this is where we are. So, okay. Andrew Sarah says, I support retarded figs like the one here. That's appreciated. That's appreciated right there. So long. Hey, wait. So why does the names go back? Did the names go back? Did they just fix the names? What? The names just went back. Did CobraCast just fix this? CobraCast just fixed it. Holy crap, the power of the snake pit. They did it 10 minutes ago. I'm just now noticing it because I was on a rant. So the names are back now. Look at that. It even automatically changed, let's see, on my super chat list. So the first one was at 8:20. Yeah, so Zinni Biscuit at 8:20. That's when this one came in, and her name is back. Look at that. I hope, let's just hope that it stays. Let's hope it's not a glitch. Let's hope it's not an Office Space situation where they're like, well, you see, we fixed the glitch. Like, oh, so he won't be working here anymore. No. You don't understand. We fixed the glitch. So these problems tend to work themselves out. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So where are we at? So long, Gay Bowser for 10 says Elon might have been a dick for saying Trump was on the Epstein list, but he was right about the trillions and bullshit that's in the spending bill. I mean, he probably is, but the problem is credibility matters. And if you are going to say that the president of the United States is on the Epstein list and imply that there's something more going on, then you need to have some receipts to back that up. And you also need to explain why you sat side by this man and let your own child hang out with him if you're implying that he is the worst thing you can be. So regardless of if he's got fair points or not, he destroyed any points that he had. Thomas Jones says, send Elon some of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap. That should help his bitchiness. And Jared the American, I got that one earlier. Van says, we laid a good man to rest today. The world is a sadder place without Patrick Davis here with us. Love you, brother. See you on the other side. Well, I don't know who Patrick Davis is, but I am sorry for your loss. Rest in peace to Patrick. So thank you for the super chat. Eric K says a 2A protection was removed from the big bill. Yeah, I saw there was some 2A stuff that people were upset about. And again, I'm not saying you can't be upset about it. Jupiter Knight says, unhappy with the 2A portions of the big, beautiful bill removed. Phil McCracken says, has Elon ever said that he would do besides, has Elon ever said what he would do besides the big, beautiful bill? Well, no, that's a typical thing of it's a libertarian mindset where they often can address the problems, but they can't address the solutions. And of course, Elon is now, retweeting people like Thomas Massey and Ron Paul and Rand Paul and all of that. So, that's typically what happens. Zinni Biscuit says, I watch Jeremy and Crowder. Those are my sources. I know there's good and bad in it, and I think the good outweighs the bad. Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to, how much are you, like, I saw Razor Fist tweeted something out earlier. Where's it at? I can find it. Is it in my bookmarks, maybe? Right. Yeah. So Razor Fist says, the more I read the big, beautiful bill, the less it bothers me. While there is indeed pork, The most offensive examples, the land grab, are now. So, I mean, you see where he's just like, he's like, the more I read it, the less I'm upset about it. But this is all because of Elon's tweet about, wanting to create a new party. Now, again, that's just one example. I'm sure you could find another person that says, well, the more I read it, the more I hate it. But that's the whole point behind it, is that everybody's a fucking expert on it. I tend to just say whatever President Trump is looking to do, I'm going to support it because I voted for President Trump. I know Tom Homan specifically said how the big, beautiful bill will impact mass deportations, which I think is one of the crucial things that is facing this country right now. I think mass deportations, illegal immigration, is an invasion into our country. I personally can't stand feeling like I'm a foreigner in my own fucking country. And I have felt that more often than not when I've visited different places. I can't stand that feeling. I can't stand to believe that, wait a minute, I feel like I'm not even welcome in my own fucking country right now. That's a tangible thing that I have seen with my own eyes, and I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I'm fucking tired of it. And I don't want anything to do with that shit anymore. So mass deportation is one of the most important things right now for me. I think it was, I find that clip from Tom Homan real quick where he said that. I think I bookmarked it. Let me see. Gosh, there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. Oh, Tom Homan is investigating AOC apparently too. Tom Homan's a badass. Right here. So let's just hear what Tom Homan has to say.
When the big, beautiful bill does pass, how do you expect that to impact the number of deportations per day? Will it be twofold, threefold?
Vastly increased. Depends how quick we get more resources on, how quick we get the contractors on, how quick we bring the beds on. I mean, Governor DeSantis, I give him credit. We got the facility he's putting up in Florida. We'll be filling those beds as quick as we can because we need more beds. I mean, I looked at this morning. I think we got like 1,700 empty beds. We'll fill them in 2 days. So we need more beds. That bill is going to let us sign contracts that are pending for more beds. We don't have the funding to do it.
So now here's the thing I would say, because this is what happens. There's no such thing as nuance on social media. Okay. So you have people that are like, so all I said was, in other words, Elon, you're going to help the Democrats. Okay. So I like to use people's logic on them. So here's my tweet right here. And I said, in other words, help Democrats, talking about Elon. And then this guy says, so you're okay with some of the stuff in the big, beautiful bill? Where the fuck did I say? Yeah, I'm okay with some of it, but you're sitting here trying to imply like, so you're okay? Well, so my logic would be, if you are against a big, beautiful bill, are you okay with immigrants, just illegal immigrants, just staying in this country and raping women? It's the fucking nonsense where people do that shit. Like, so you're okay? So you're saying? It's like, fuck off. Fuck off. So you're saying? So that the next time someone uses that logic on you, just go, so you're saying you're okay with illegal immigrants raping women? No, that's not what you're saying. But if you want to use that stupid fucking logic against me, then I'll use it back on you. It's so dumb. So you're saying? Weak people drive me crazy, man. Let's see. Manny says, last day of Pride Month, so the gay jokes will stop tomorrow, right? Never gonna stop. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, read page. Yeah, there we go. I'll get right to it. All right. Motorlicious says, supporting the big, beautiful bill is racist. No, I would prefer a Christian capitalist from Ethiopia over a godless socialist Swede. Deathu says, the question people should be asking Elon is, what of the big, beautiful bill you not like? People have asked him that, and he won't give any specifics. He just keeps making generalizations about the spending, but he won't get into any specifics about it. He's been asked over and over. American Advocate says 24-hour reading the big, beautiful bill stream. No, No. Maybe I'll play Mario Kart and have Beardo read the big, beautiful bill for 24 hours. How about that? I like that. Den Hawkins says, the two types of people mad about the bill are commies and libertarians. One will lose their voter base, and libertarians lose their cheap labor. Yeah, libertarians cause a lot of the problems on social media because, again, all they do is cry and whine, and they're not looking for actual solutions. They're just looking to be constantly upset. And Dave Smith is a perfect poster child for the libertarians out there. JRG Project says, Musk may have money, but Trump has the political power and influence. We have seen a billion-dollar campaign crash out. Musk is also limited in his influence due to his dual citizenship, Soros 2.0. It sucks, but it is what it is. Elon decided to go down this road, and that's fine. Andrew CR says, so you're saying you're gay? For 10, I think that's for 10. Corn Boy, my Mario Kart bro. What's up, Corn Boy? Thank you for the member message. Solo Felix says, Taker equals the phenom. Sting equals the icon. Trump equals the youngest man. Well, look, I mean, so I saw this. White House sets record straight on the big, beautiful bill. This is the bottom line. So this is directly from the White House. Let's listen.
Was one of the most successful economic policy pieces of legislation in history. This is about extending that tax relief so the same people that benefited from it back in 2017 and for the last 8 years don't end up having a colossal, massive tax increase hitting them in the face come January 1.
So there's the majority leader, John Thune, kind of a closing argument, Senate floor a bit earlier, laying out the stakes for the big and beautiful bill now being debated. The Senate is in a marathon voting session as lawmakers propose amendments, and the White House keeping a very close eye on this. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hass is with me now from the North Lawn. Thanks for coming on, sir, and good morning to you. The vote-a-rama means you can put up whatever you.
Before we get into this, I just saw this tweet from Stephen Miller. Look what he says. The libertarian delusion is that there is a large political constituency, I can barely say that word, for their ideology. It does not exist. Libertarians have never performed nationally above a number rounding to 0. And when libertarians run for president with the GOP, they are the first ones out. 1,000%. Like, President Trump came to the Libertarian National Convention and they booed him out of the fucking building, even though he gave them what they fucking wanted. They cried for that guy to be released, and Trump did it. And they still cry, and they still whine, and they still make up reasons why they're going to hate him. Like, he literally gave them what they wanted. And they booed him out of the building, and he still followed through on his promise for them, even though he didn't fucking have to. He didn't have to do that, but he did it because he promised them that he would do it. And they showed no appreciation for President Trump. None. In fact, hang on, what's that? What's the guy's name? Chase. He's a libertarian. It's Chase something. He was like their nominee or something like that. I can't remember his name. Chase Oliver? Is that his name? Chase Oliver, right? Okay. Chase Oliver. Yeah, this is so libertarians are crying about Trump, and this is the guy that they fucking nominated. They're crying about Trump, and they nominated this guy. They nominated this guy, and they're crying about Donald Trump. Holy shit. Crying about Trump when you nominated this. Absolutely insane. This is who represents your party. But Orange Man Bad is the one you want to cry about. Okay. I got to get that shit off my
one
screen.
there, and it takes 10 minutes to close out that vote. And I don't know, maybe they'll be there at 10:31 tonight. Question to you. There have been some critics, a few Republicans, I would say, but mostly Democrats, because you're not going to get a single Democrat to vote.
The critics are Democrats. So Bernie Sanders, Pocahontas, AOC, Massey, Rand Paul. There you go. And was it Tillis? Is that his name? That was whining about it? That's it.
The House and Senate for this, I do not believe. Maybe I'm wrong. What does America get from the big, beautiful bill?
Right. What America gets for the big, beautiful bill is border security, national security, an extra $10,000 in the pocket of the typical American family, no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. We've got 90 million American workers that are hourly workers that are going to see that extra overtime that they're getting paid go straight into their pockets. And all of this is going to happen if we pass the bill. If we don't pass the bill, the Council of Economic Advisors here at the White House has said that it's going to cause GDP to drop 4%, one of the biggest recessions in history because of a massive tax hike. And honestly, that's why this bill is going to pass. I've got a few Senate staffers on my team that did a little poll today. I told them to tell me what time is it going to pass tonight, and the average of the 4 votes was about midnight.
Okay, all right.
We'll see. But we're expecting it to pass today.
Midnight. Do you see the House being a bigger challenge than the Senate?
No, I think that everybody's worked very, very closely on this bill. I think that there's a lot to love in this bill. I think some people will have some things that they don't like about it, but this is not the last bill that's ever going to pass, right? So the people.
So Elon Musk is apparently claiming he's going to support Thomas Massey. I just saw that tweet right there. So Elon has responded to a tweet saying he's going to support Massey. And I mean, Massey's already in some big trouble in the early polls right now because Trump is campaigning against him. So I guess we'll see how that one goes. So right here, Massey is trailing in the 2026 primary as Trump plans to kick him out. So Massey is trailing already. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess that's going to be pretty interesting. But I'm thinking Trump will get that win big time.
Who want more spending cuts? Well, we're going to have discretionary spending that can be rescinded, and we could start sending those rescission packages to the floor. But with 51 votes, they can pass, and we could start that process as soon as we're on to the next thing. And so, for sure, the House is going to pass this bill as well. And also, don't forget that the leadership under the Speaker and the Majority Leader, they've been doing something that we call a pre-conference. That they've really been negotiating line by line what the Senate bill should look like so that it'll be acceptable to the House. And so I don't think that there's going to be a heck of a lot of gap between what the House needs and what the Senate needs
okay,
in the end. And the House will be able to pass the Senate bill.
I want to get to 2 more things, but quickly, you're getting hammered on these Medicaid cuts. Some on behalf of Tom Tillis out of North Carolina. What would you say to those who are coming after you on the Medicaid issue?
Well, I mean, Tom Tillis, so, I mean, he's not even running for re-election because, he basically went against Trump, and then Trump called him out, and basically he's not even running for re-election now. So that's that on him.
Right. The bottom line is that we're not taking away anybody's Medicaid. We're definitely not taking away anybody's Medicare. What we're doing is we're going after waste, fraud, and abuse, and there's a heck of a lot of it out there. A lot of budget savings have been found by people really in the House, in the Senate, not just conservatives, moderates agree that there's a lot of money that can be saved. And the bottom line is that we're, in the end, going to balance this budget, and we've got to balance this budget by getting rid of waste, fraud, abuse, and we're going to do it.
Okay,
and we've also got all this revenue coming in from the 3% growth, which will be an extra $4 trillion in revenue. We've got $2.8 trillion in tariff revenue coming in as well.
So, I think the better response is going to be this guy right here, though. Of course, Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, always on point. So this is Stephen Miller talking about the big, beautiful bill.
I've spent my entire life in the conservative movement. Since I was a kid in high school, working, dreaming of the day where we could have a piece of legislation like what exists right now, Sean, what President Trump has brought to the precipice of passage. Each and every one of the individual titles in this bill would be considered one of the great achievements in the history of the conservative movement. The title, for example, building the missile defense shield for the United States of America, Sean, so we can be safe, our children can be safe from foreign adversaries in this growing era of intercontinental ballistic missiles as nations race for supremacy. The section on this bill enshrining border and homeland security, this is the most far-reaching border security proposal, homeland security proposal in my lifetime. Sean, not just my lifetime, going back to Eisenhower, going back to since we've had conversations about the border, Sean. I take this seriously. I've stood by the families whose kids have been murdered by illegal aliens. We made them a promise. Most importantly, the American people voted to fulfill that promise in the last election. This bill fulfills it. It is the largest tax cut and reform in American history. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, 100% expensing for new factories. Think about that. Every single business owner with a dream of manufacturing in America can deduct 100% of that cost to make the American dream come true here in the United States. Here's another one for you, Sean. The largest welfare reform in American history. Work requirements on food stamps, work requirements on Medicaid, the two largest welfare programs that exist, and now we are attaching work requirements to those programs. Orders of magnitude larger than the welfare reform that Republicans enacted into law.
So I'm guessing anyone that's against the big, beautiful bill is literally against every single thing that he is saying, because that's the logic. That's the logic that the people that are against it use against people that say they support Trump. They're like, so you're saying, so I'm saying you're against all these things. Okay. If that's what you want to go with, but ultimately nothing is going to be perfect. And this is the problem that people have, is that they need every fucking thing to line up with their exact worldview. They don't understand that life is about give and take. Business is about give and take. Politics is about give and take. Relationships are about give and take. That is what life is all about. It's never going to be your perfect fucking utopia. And the sooner you realize that about life, the better off you're going to be in life.
The 1990s. I am sick and tired of the lies about this bill that have been perpetrated by opportunists who are trying to make a name for themselves. This is the most conservative bill in my lifetime. Tax cuts, defense, border security, homeland security, welfare reform.
So yeah, you're against border security if you're against the big, beautiful bill. Just using your logic, you don't want us to have borders. You are for open borders. You are for illegal immigrants running over our borders and just destroying our country if you're against a big, beautiful bill. That's your logic. You want to use the fucking logic? Let's use it. Because I feel like I'm talking to Democrats when I hear people spew that ridiculous shit.
And the largest spending cut in one bill that has ever been enacted. So, Sean, let's work together. Let's pass this bill. Let's get it to President Trump's desk by July 4th.
There we go. What stupid logic, Jeremy? You're doing emotional manipulation. If you think my logic is stupid, then you probably think that your own logic is stupid. And that is the point. I love to hold up a mirror to people and show them how dumb their logic is. Now, I'm not saying you can't disagree with it. You can not like it. But the way that people formulate their opinion and then try to make other people feel guilty about having a different opinion is my problem. I don't care about people having a different opinion. What I have a problem is for people that have a different opinion and then get mad because, well, you disagree with me. That means do you support all these things? No, how the fuck do you know what I support? Did you ask me? Have you heard me say that I support these things? Then how did you come to that conclusion? You came to that conclusion because you are emotionally broken and you cannot deal with a world where someone has a different opinion than you. If you disagree with the big, beautiful bill and you don't want it passed, that is fine. That is your right. And I have no problem with you feeling that way. I have a problem when you want to speak in hyperbole and go, well, if you support the big, beautiful bill, Jeremy, that means you support. No, it fucking doesn't. Doesn't mean any fucking thing. It means that there are things in it that I support, and I support President Trump. There may be things that I disagree with, and that's okay. That's life. But again, this is the problem with primarily Democrats and libertarians. They need a perfect utopia. All right. They need a perfect utopia. And if everything doesn't line up exactly how they need it to, it's the end of the world. Everything's over. Like they will look at something that's 90% good and go, that 10% means the whole thing is ruined. And you're like, but that's not how life works. That's not how business works. That's not how politics work. That's not how literally anything in life works. That's not how it works. So you're never going to be satisfied, ever. So, Slain Hope says Trump is a huge wrestling fan. I think it's a play. It's not a play. Trump is not playing everybody on the Elon thing. Shaky Owen says Jeremy greater than Tim. That's not a huge compliment. I mean, I do have a full head of hair, but he does make more money than I do. So there's that. Michael Williams says Washington is set up for failure. You have to like a bill if you agree with most of it. The only thing that fixes this is single subject bills, which Washington won't ever do. I agree with that. Forest of the Tree says, I greatly appreciate the level-headed coverage the past few weeks related to the news. I don't want to derail the stream. Can I send you a DM about an ongoing issue that I feel needs some attention? Yes, I will check it out. Just go ahead and shoot me a DM over on Twitter, and I'll see if I can check it out. Zal Mox for 20 says, Stephen Miller is amazing. Goes into enemy territory, any mainstream media, and destroys them with facts and logic. He's the best. He is the best at being the mouthpiece for the administration. He's phenomenal at it, and he's done it for a long time. I've always been a fan of watching him, especially in the last few years. So Stephen Miller is great. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. Mike S. says, Elon Massey fake MAGA dissenters with whining is totally fine to me. I did not vote for them. I voted for Trump. They can keep whining all they want. I agree. Brock says, remember to stay hydrated, drink water. Remember that, chat. Remember that. All right. So let's see here. I didn't know it was gay, says he knew. Vault95 says, test, does Jeremy, a known fig, know who I am now? Yes. Little Jim's Halo says, did you see that rapper from the UK got his visa revoked? And his record agency dropped him and all his shows canceled in the U.S. I did see that. I did. These people, man, like, I do agree, though. Like, what is he? He said something about Israeli forces, but it's like, well, if he would have said like something bad about white people, he wouldn't have gotten that, revoked, which is interesting. David Simpson says, I'll remind people, Hillary and Kamala both had $1 billion plus and lost. Elon's money did nothing in Wisconsin. Money only goes so far. I agree. I love Elon. I'm appreciative of everything he's done, but I'm not going to just, blindly praise him forever. Mike S. says, libertarians are the people whining about Trump's bill. Just claimed weeks ago he was owned by Israel and starting World War III. They are always wrong. I agree completely. This is why I dismiss the majority of the criticisms out there, because it's the same people that were whining a week ago about World War III. Same exact people. Socrates McGoat says, starting a Give Send Go to help fund John Thune's transition. I'm only taking a 99% handling fee from the final amount. Bull Bear says, so you're basically saying it's okay to get fucked in the ass as long as they throw a reach around. Well, no, I mean, what is, so that is literally the opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying if you agree with 75% of the big beautiful bill, you're willing to throw it all away because you agree with 25% of it. Like, again, man, I question the people that have ever had a meaningful relationship in their life. Because if you've ever been with a woman, you understand that women are never fucking happy. Okay? You're always apologizing to them, even though you didn't do shit wrong. You're always having to tell them that they look perfect, even though they probably don't, because the moment you're honest with a fucking woman, you're in the doghouse, because that's how it always goes. You always have to tell women what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. No, you have to tell them what they want to hear. And that teaches you valuable lessons in life, because you're always like, well, fuck, here's what I really think. But do I feel like getting bitched out for the next 2 months for being honest? No, honey, you don't look fat. Honey, you look perfect. Honey, you look great. Honey, I was wrong. You were right. No. I want to hear about your day. I want to hear about all the drama at work. I want to hear about your girlfriends, and I want to hear about their drama with their boyfriends and their husbands. I want to. No, the fuck I don't. But you have to compromise, because you realize if I say, no, bitch, I don't want to hear about your girlfriend's drama with their fucking boyfriends and their husbands. I don't give a fuck. The moment you do that, you've created 2 months worth of problems for yourself. Or you could just sit there and listen for about 20 minutes and just go, oh, that's crazy, honey. That's terrible. Oh, I can't believe that. That's just, really? She said that? That's how life works. Fuck. 3 for 20 says, Jer, I've been through these mega bills a million times. This one is a net positive. At least they are reading of it on YouTube. Congress is a big ancient turtle. Yeah. If they were efficient, we could have line item bills. They suck. Well, I do agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Let me see. Thank you, 3 for the $20. Logan Miller for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. And Logan Miller says, my dad was a big, beautiful bill. Look at there. Fantastic Knox for 20 says, goodness, my country's leaders are such wussies. Had a cry that he didn't get to talk to Trump at the G7 summit. Instead of going to see Trump himself, he decides to send a woman to delegate, only to be met with Rubio instead. Really? That's bad. That's really bad. Oh, that's embarrassing, brother. That's embarrassing. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. Captain Robius says, the people voted for Trump. Elon will learn that the hard way. 2 men with big egos. I don't know if Elon's going to learn. That's where I question it. Like, I don't know, man. Elon is in such a different orbit that I don't know if he's going to learn. You know, like, it's Elon Musk. It's the richest man in the world. He works for no one. I don't know if Elon will learn. That's the whole thing. I really don't. I think that Elon will continue to take L after L after L in reference to him going against Trump, but I don't think he's going to learn. I don't think you can teach Elon anything. I don't think he's willing to learn anything. I don't think he's willing to bend it down for anyone. I don't think Elon is ever going to do that. That's just my opinion on it. I just don't think that Elon will learn from this, sadly. I hope I'm wrong. Bender Events Network says, hey, Jeremy, I bought the CobraCast shirt, but I think the shipping address I got wrong on the Uncle IDOT shirt. The correct one is the one for the CobraCast order, or I did today. Can you check that? I don't know how much access we have on the Teespring side, but Eric K, can you screenshot this for me? And then also Bender Events Network, can you send me an email to jeremy@geeksgamers.com with all the information that we need to look in? I don't know how much access we have with Teespring. That may have to be a Teespring thing that they have to deal with. So, but I will see if we can help you out for sure. Let me see. Doreen says, what the fuck is wrong with this Jeremy, guys? Hang on. What the fuck is wrong with this Jeremy, guys? Doreen, how much time do you have? How much time do you have? Because there's a lot wrong with me, okay? I just don't know how much time you have. So we're going to need a few hours. The chat will help you out, though. There's a lot of people in the chat that can give you a lot of talking points for sure. So, okay. All right, Bender, but yeah, we'll help you out. And by the way, if you guys missed it earlier, We do have the new CobraCast merch in our Teespring store right here. Boom. There it is. New CobraCast merch. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, all that. That's the new CobraCast logo. So if you guys are interested, go over to Teespring. The link is in the pinned post. Those will be available for a limited time. Probably about 2 weeks we'll have those available. And so let me know if you have any questions on that. And I hope you guys go and check that out. Thank you so much. Grego says, I stole Mike's peg leg and he has to find me here. He's never going to catch me while he hobbles along. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Great ghost. Mike S says, these people praise Massey, but what has he done? Absolutely nothing. He is Rand Paul 2.0. These people are as gullible as liberal Democrats. Well, I'll tell you what Massey's done. He stands on principle, Mike. He stands on principle. Now, what does that mean exactly? I don't know. But all of his supporters will tell you he stands on principle, and that's why they support him. And you ask, what do you mean by principle? What exactly does that mean? And they can't actually answer that because there is no answer. So that's it. He stands on principle, guys. Let's see. Dooku Man says that Jeremy, please tell me you and the Snake Pit have seen Benny Johnson's latest video on AOC from the Bronx, aka Sandy from rich upstate New York. I haven't seen it, but I will check it out. But I have not seen. I've heard the stories about AOC and her claiming to be from New York and all of that. Buster Nutsmash says we need an AI pic of Trump, Batman, and Musk Joker. Richard Waring says the big beautiful bill is about the 2026 elections and vote gains. JRG Project says the harder Massey falls, the better, and it damages Elon's credibility. It's foreign money versus local politics. Time to cut his government contracts. I don't know if Trump will get that petty about it, but, you know, maybe. Den Hawkins says Libertarians, Can Man, good one fig. Oh, that's from Can Man. Hydrocoptic says the big beautiful episode count is stuck at 199. Trent Hyatt says that it's an 80-20 bill. Take the win and move on, children. People don't know how to do that, man. They need 100%. They need 100% agreement. Like literally, like I need everything perfect and then I will support it. But this is the libertarians. This is why they always fight with each other. Because even libertarians can't agree on 100% of things because nobody can agree on 100% of things. But libertarians are a bunch of people that need to agree on 100% of everything, and they can't agree on shit. So they end up fighting with each other all the fucking time because they live in this utopia that they need to have 100% agreement on every fucking thing. That's why it's so hilarious. Mike S says also most of the MAGA dissenters were initially DeSantis bros that claimed Trump couldn't win re-election. They are completely delusional. 100% on that. Speaking of DeSantis, we got to talk about DeSantis. DeSantis is crushing it. I've had a lot of problems with DeSantis, but I have let all of my issues go with DeSantis. I'm not someone that, like, once you've proven, that you're kind of like, you're not that guy anymore. Because DeSantis, I love him as a governor, hated him as a candidate. He was horrible as a candidate. He was terrible. But Alligator Alcatraz is opening tomorrow, and guess who's going to be there?
On a scheduling note, tomorrow, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located at Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport, alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. We hope to see many of you there. The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one
Alligator Alcatraz is so great.
road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens. This is an efficient and low-cost way to help carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history.
So that is happening. And then we had Governor DeSantis. Let me see if I can find it right here. Here's Governor DeSantis.
That's out there kind of in the middle.
I know it's a little
of
low.
the
Sorry if it's a little low.
Area. And it's not defunct. People say there are training flights that go in there, but it's a massive runway. And, you know, there's not a lot of buildings out there, but there's a lot of concrete. And so these guys set up this whole thing within a matter of days. And so when the president comes tomorrow, he's going to be able to see, you know, you're going to be able to do what'll happen is you bring people in there. They ain't going anywhere once they're there unless you want them to go somewhere, because good luck getting the civilization. So the security is amazing, but what natural and otherwise. But what what it can be, I think, is an effective way to increase the number of removals and deportations, which ultimately, if you don't do that, you know, you're going to continue to have this problem of illegal immigration. So you'll be able to bring people in, they'll get processed. They have an order of removal, then they can be queued, and you can, the federal government can fly right on the runway right there. You literally drive them 2,000 feet, put them on a plane, and then they're gone. It's very logistically simple. But what we're also going to do is, you know, this idea of immigration judge, these are not Article 3 judges. They're not federal judges like we think of. These are executive branch employees who are called immigration judges. So you can have you can deputize different employees to do that. So we've offered some of our National Guardsmen to be able to serve as immigration judges. So what you could have is, okay, someone's a criminal alien, they obviously fast track. Someone has an order of deportation, okay, fast track. Someone may have just gotten picked up. They can get like a notice to appear.
So to show you what and we'll finish out what he's saying, but to show you what we're talking about here, for those that didn't see it yesterday, I don't know if I think this is AI generated. I don't know for sure, but this is a picture of the facility, but like, I don't know if all of this is legit, but this is Alligator Alcatraz right here. And it's awesome. This is awesome. Like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? This is, so it's got pythons, it's surrounded by pythons and alligators. Alligator Alcatraz. So freaking good. So I am so excited for this, and Trump is going to be there tomorrow. And I'm going to cover it. If we have coverage, I'll be here live covering it. So
Biden.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, like the alligators in the water were AI. I know that. I was just talking about the overall picture. I don't know if the overall picture was AI generated or if they added stuff to it.
To tell you to come in 2 years. I mean, under the Trump administration, it's usually within 14 to 30 days. But we can have our National Guard acting as immigration judges right on site. So you go, maybe you have a day or two, whatever, and then a decision's made. And then that's it. So this is potentially be a force multiplier as this goes. And so, I did speak with the president this weekend. He's very excited about doing it. But I think what he wants to see is, Florida should not be the only one in this fight, right? I mean, like, we literally are doing what the voters who elected all of us have been demanding for many, many years. And immigration was maybe the number one issue, maybe inflation, but certainly no worse than the second most important issue in the 2024 presidential election.
So DeSantis is crushing it. He's doing a great job. And we have Elon's first spokesperson for his American party. You guys ready? The first spokesman. And this is also going to be I think this is going to be like their logo as well. So here we go. The spokesman for Elon's America Party. There it is. That's going to be the picture for them right there. The American Party, where if we don't get 100% of everything we want, we cry and we scream and we yell and we go crazy. So yeah, I know he's Canadian, which is perfect, because Elon's not American either. So, you know what I mean? So there you go. I don't know if this is real or not. Like, Jordan, every time I've seen a picture of Jordan Peterson, he's crying. So I don't know if this is new. I have no idea. I have no idea. Zalmox for 20 says, go blue. The last 2 games with Bama were great for the University of Michigan. It's also because it's Saban's reign, godly at Bama, and history at MSU that I have respect for him and Michigan being his last game. Let's see, GI in 2025, Bama, and fuck OSU and love Trump. Hey, man, nothing but respect. Yes. Alabama's missing Nick Saban for sure. I was a Bama fan before Saban got there. I'm a Bama fan still. I'm always going to be one, but I don't think we're going to be a national contender for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. So, but thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. David Simpson says, stop being pragmatic, Jeremy. F your 80-20. What's your problem with Jordan Peterson? I don't like when you're talking about Jordan Peterson's, like when his talks about doing the becoming a man and all of this and all that, he's really good. But my God, man, if you've heard Jordan B. Peterson talk about like anonymity on the internet and all of that, like he thinks that like every single person in this chat right now, Jordan Peterson thinks that your name, address, date of birth, and social security number should all be next to your name. So that anything you say on the internet, we can hunt you down and find you. That's what he believes. That's not even hyperbole. Like Jordan Peterson thinks that if you say something on the internet, that we need to have your full name, your parents' names, your kids' names, where you work, phone number, social security, credit card. That way, when you say something mean, we can find you and we can take away your livelihood. That's my problem with him. So, Vertigo Wolf says it. That's actually what he said, not hyperbole. He seriously, he's like, we need to know where they work. We need to know where they work. We need to find out where they live. These trolls on the internet hide behind profile pictures. We can't have this. Fucking crazy, dude. Trent Hyatt says, we should pass the bill and stick it up Dave Smith's ass. He might like that. That's the problem. Phoenix Tangent says, one of the big problems that I have with Elon Musk is that he keeps glazing Chinese electricity generation on X when they produce over 57% of the through coal fire. In fact, he completely ignores. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Elon's Elon. He's a different cat. He's always going to be a different cat. And I think that that's a good thing. I think Elon being different is good. Even when him and Trump were at odds before he joined the Trump, campaign and all of that, I was still a big supporter of Elon. And I always said, like, you take the good with the bad with Elon, man. Like, like he says some weird shit sometimes and he's a little out there sometimes. But basic decency and loyalty towards the president of the United States, when you worked so hard to get him elected, it's not that they have disagreements. It's that Elon is going on a war path to go directly against President Trump and his agenda when President Trump was so kind to him and welcoming to him. He had him sitting in the meetings of the cabinet. He rolled out the red carpet. He brought Teslas to the White House, promoted he did everything. That's where my issue with Elon comes into play, where it's like, you can have issues with Trump. You should be able to privately hash those things out and express your displeasure with President Trump privately. And it's up to President Trump if he wants to hear those concerns or not. But the opportunity to be able to tell the president of the United States of America your concerns when you're the same guy that said you stood in line for like 8 hours to meet Barack Obama, Elon Musk, that's something Elon Musk has said. Elon Musk said, I stood in line, whatever it was. It may be like 7 or 8 hours. I can't remember. But Elon Musk said he stood in line for like 8 hours. I think it might have been more to meet Barack Obama. Barack Obama didn't embrace Elon's genius. Joe Biden didn't embrace Elon's genius. Trump embraced Elon's genius. Trump embraced you. He let you stay at Mar-a-Lago. He brought you to the White House. He brought you into cabinet meetings. And if you have a big issue with him, that's totally fine. You had his ear and you could tell him how you felt directly. for you to go on social media over and over again and actively try to work directly against him is bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. Fantastic. Mr. Knox says, for those who wonder what I'm talking about, it's Australia. Our leaders, who is okay to delegate deals to the EU and China. This is a sorry state of Australia. Yeah, it sucks. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. Appreciate the information, brother. Let me see. Saint Hope says Elon's playing the dumb. Last budget was 6.8 trillion. Trump's is only 5. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and other entitlements is 4.3 trillion alone. Well, it just seems like Elon is really upset about many other things that he's. It looks like he's trying to take all of his anger and push it into this big beautiful bill situation, but he's angry about a lot of different stuff. Let's see. Kella says, I am ashamed to say that I share a birthday with the release of Ironheart, FML. I just want good entertainment, which is why I watch you. Hail the 199. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not watching Ironheart. I refuse to watch that shit. I don't care. I've talked about this recently a lot. Like, I'm just, man, I'm focusing on video games and politics. And I did watch The Waterfront on Netflix, and that was my recommendation. With Ironheart, my recommendation is watch The Waterfront. It's a new series on Netflix. It's okay. It's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's fine. You know, it was good. So it just came out like last week, and I watched it, and it was fine. I just started watching Animal Kingdom because it was recommended to me right after watching The Waterfront. I'd never knew about this show Animal Kingdom. It's pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking good. So I'm enjoying Animal Kingdom so far. Let's see. I'm rewatching The Next Generation after many years since the last time. It's great. Next Generation is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thanks for the info on Waterfront. Yeah. It's good. I would say like expect like a 7.5 out of 10. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's good. It's good. So I enjoyed it for what it was. Let me see. Well, what the fuck's it about? It's about this family that lives on the water. They have a restaurant on the water. They're very, very much in this town. They have a lot of clout within the town. The dad is kind of like retiring out of the business. They have a lot of debt that's incurred, so the son gets them into some really shady business dealings, drugs, and the dad has to come back into the fold and fix the problem. So you got family business, a family dynamic on the water, and you got drugs involved. Pretty stereotypical from that standpoint. Good cast. The guy that plays the dad, he was in Mindhunter. I don't know his name. He was also the dad in the Iron Claw, the movie about the Von Erichs. This dude is awesome. The dad in the show, he's great in the role. Kind of like Bloodline. If you're talking about the Kyle Chandler Bloodline, to some extent, yeah, I would say Bloodline is far better. At least the first 2 seasons of Bloodline, I fucking thought Bloodline was awesome. Bloodline is great. But yeah, this one's pretty good though. What's the guy's name? Now I got to look it up. What's this guy's name? So The Waterfront, IMDb. Let's see here. What's this guy's name? Holt McCallany? Holt McCallany? Is that his name? Okay. Holt. Yeah, I've never heard his name, but he's been in a lot of stuff. You would recognize him if you've seen him. But he's let's see. This guy right here. I'm sure you guys have seen him in stuff before. Well, of course, fucking Google doesn't want to open this up. He was in I guess he was in Fight Club. Okay, I didn't know he was in Fight Club. He must have been younger when he was in Fight Club. Right Right here, the guy on the right. He's the guy that plays the dad in The Waterfront, and he's also in Mindhunter. But he's good. He's a great actor. He's fantastic in The Waterfront. He kind of makes the show. But yeah, recommend it. So fuck Ironheart, fuck woke Disney, fuck Hollywood. So it's good stuff though. Mike S. says Massey's only principle is jumping out from behind the bushes whenever Trump is in the news to do podcasts with Theo Vaughn. I agree. David, I got that one. Dark Dabble says NYC needs to become the 51st state of Manhattanistan to spare upstate New York and New York City's evil overlordship. New York's a disaster. Philip Johnson says, tomorrow's going to rock. Alligator Alcatraz opens and we learn where Norfolk lands on the billboard. Probably high. Haters of all stripes finna have a bad week. Yes, it's going to be a bad week for them for sure. SBZ says, was that a screenshot from Batman Arkham Asylum new DLC? Let's ask Beardo. Guinea Pig with a fanny pack says, everyone quietly listening to the video. Jeremy, yeah, guys, sorry if it's a little quiet, lol. Keep up the good work and hail the 199. Bender Events Network says, I have an email ready to send, but I don't know the exact address to send it to. Jeremy@geeksandgamers.com. Jeremy@geeksandgamers.com. Jeremy the Cyborg. Shout out to Mark the Cyborg. Jeremy the Cyborg says, check your DM messages for your surprise, Jeremy. All right, I'll check that out. I still got to check Forest of the Trees. Mike S says, Elon should just learn how to stay in his lane. I don't know if that's the right approach. I mean, Elon has done such great things by not staying in his lane. So I don't know if I would tell Elon to stay in his lane because he's done a great job not staying in his lane. He's just at this point, like, it's a little overkill, though. Modalicious says, restore the guns part of the bill. We should at least get access to the real versions of the weapons G.I. Joes come with. D-Day Direwolf says, what you said about meaningful relationships is so true. Yeah, I mean, it's just life, man. Like people, like, perfection does not exist in life. Okay, it just doesn't. And that's, that everything has flaws, everything has imperfections, everything does. Okay, everything. That's just how it is. So I don't know, man. Socrates Magoat says, have you seen Formula One? I saw it and it was great. I'm planning on seeing it this week. Buster Nut Smash says, this is like the modern day Federalist Papers, two geniuses arguing over the future of the country. They both love America, but differ on how to fix it. This is America. This is good. I hope so. Angry Salt says, Jeremy, are you covering the big, beautiful vote today? I mean, if it's going live, I can pull it up right now. Let me see. Let me go to, why don't I just open up? Let's see. Sure, Fox News is live covering it.
Right when it was done in the prior administration. It's not right now that we're in charge. This is Congress's job, and by God, we ought to do it, and I reserve my time.
The senator from Vermont.
All right. I support the Kennedy Amendment, but not for the reasons my friend from Louisiana does.
Here, this will be better.
I think that there should be some flexibility and there should be some governmental policy that helps our industry.
I love how they can't stop laughing when it's Kennedy, dude. Kennedy's great. He really is.
What I do not believe is that the Congress should be powerless. And that's what we have become. Ceding our Article I authority to a chief executive, and I don't care whether it's a Republican or Democrat. The most important branch is the Article I branch because we are the closest to the people. And how is it that we have in this bill $1 billion that goes to an executive to be spent in ways we have no input as to how it will be spent. We have no accountability. We have no way to tell the people we represent how money is being spent and why. Mr. President, I believe that the biggest threat we have to this democracy.
Okay. I cannot sit here and listen to these clowns. I can't do it. Modalicious says, sounds like Waterfront is just a copy paste of Ozark. I have not watched Ozark. I have heard how good Ozark is. I think I watched like the first couple of episodes and I just didn't get fully invested in it. That's not a bad thing. That happens to me from time to time, but I've heard Ozark is really good. I just cannot. I've tried a couple times, but it just didn't grab me. Trent Hyatt says, should have called it Iron Man Heart, Black's Steel. Micah says, let me rephrase. Elon should stay out of Trump's lane. Let the man cook, for fuck's sake. He will only create Democrat wins if he splits MAGA into two parties. Agreed.
Bro, this town operates.
Hang on.
And the senator of South Carolina. Okay. The senator from Louisiana has 30 seconds, and the senator of South Carolina has 4 minutes.
Thank you, Scooter. I'm Mr. President. Mr. President, I appreciate my colleagues' support. I don't mean any disrespect to anybody. But this town operates on two wrongs, don't make it right, but they do make it even. It's time that Congress have a say in how the money's being spent. And this doesn't say the money can't be spent. It just says Congress gets to approve it.
Mr. President, I really like my good friend from the great state of Louisiana. And Scooter's cousin Bubba called me recently. And I got to tell you that there's no doubt in my mind that the importance of the Defense Production Act is undeniable. And specificity is a necessary component for us to have our oversight. And that is why this administration, unlike the last administration, has committed to making sure that we understand how the resources in the DPA will be spent. We have that commitment on a quarterly basis to receive the necessary information so that we understand with great clarity and transparency how the dollars within the DPA will be spent. But here's what we also know, that we remain reliable.
Bro, chat is the best ever. Somebody just said, is this a Green Mile watch party? Chat is always the mess, always the MVP. Green Mile watch party. I think that was Simplistic that said that. I think. Oh my goodness, that was good. That was fantastic. Woo. Taker says, whoa, anti-Trump Washington Post editor arrested on CP. I saw that story a couple of days ago. Let me see if I can pull that up. I think Colin Rugg tweeted about it. I think. Let me see. You guys are trip, man. Yeah, let me see if I can find that story. And it's not shocking, by the way, that an anti-Trump Washington Post reporter got arrested for that. If I can find it. I did see that story. Don't know where it's at, though. Let's see here. Washington Post. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I always forget this one. Was it the Wall Street Journal or the Washington Post that went after PewDiePie all those years ago? I can't remember if it was which of the two it was. It was either the Wall Street Journal or the Washington Post. But it was one specifically, like when PewDiePie was about like 45 million subscribers or whatever. Oh, Wall Street Journal, is that what it was? So Wall Street, whatever it was, they went after PewDiePie and basically labeled him a Nazi. and basically tried to get his channel taken down. That guy, that backfired completely because all that happened was PewDiePie became more popular, which I had never cared about PewDiePie. Never cared about him at all. And then when they went after him, I'm trying to see which one it was. Whenever they went after him, I started to watch him because I basically was like, if a major, there's no way this guy is actually a Nazi, by the way. There's no way. And so I started watching him because I'm like, how are you calling the biggest YouTuber in the world a Nazi? Oh, first, hang on. We got to hear Kennedy first.
The Senator for Louisiana.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Take your time.
Thank you, sir. Pursuant to Section 904 of the Congressional Budget Act of 1974, I move to waive the point of order, reminding the body that I'm not striking the spending. I'm just asking Congress to approve it. And I ask for the ayes and nays.
Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. The court will call the roll.
Ms. Also Brooks. Ms. Baldwin. Mr. Banks.
Is this live? Yes, I believe this is live right now. I just don't care to hear what any of them have to say except for when Kennedy gets up there because he's such a comedian. But let's see here. Okay, so right here. So this is the Washington Post editor who's a Trump hater who was arrested and charged with possession of CP. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A Trump hater that was arrested for possession of CP. Every single time. Every single time. Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. And so, like I said, I don't know if we got it confirmed if it was Wall Street Journal or if it was Washington Post. It was probably both of them that went after PewDiePie. And this is where my mindset always goes to is like, if you, the media, is telling me that I shouldn't be doing something, my instincts tell me that I probably should do it. And that's what happened with PewDiePie. PewDiePie motivated me to start, I remember when I saw PewDiePie, so I was not like a big YouTuber or anything. I'm not saying I'm a big YouTuber now, you know what I mean? But I remember like when I first started watching his channel was after that hit piece came out by whatever it was, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, all of that. So when that hit piece came out on PewDiePie, I remember going, well, he can't be what they're saying he is. And I've always been negative towards PewDiePie just because of what I've heard and not actually watching his content. So I decided to watch his content. And I'm like, this dude is funny as hell. Wall Street Journal put the really bad one out. Is that true? Okay. So I start watching his content and I realize, holy shit, the biggest YouTuber on the platform is calling out the bullshit that we're seeing right now. I didn't know that you could actually be that based on here. I didn't know you could do that. And I'm going to pull up one video in particular that made me a PewDiePie fan forever. All right. And this is like 7 years ago. This video is from like 7 years ago, PewDiePie. And this is where I realized this is why they hate Pewds right here. So this video is titled, It's All Over. It has 8 million views. Okay. It's 8 million views. This is why they hate PewDiePie right here.
Is so shielded from them. They get these outrageous thoughts that they use. They're blaming.
So he's talking about celebrities being out of touch with reality.
fires caused by teenagers to further their political agenda. You know, whatever side of it may be, the fact that they use this, to me, is so fucking gross. It's these kind of celebrities that live in a bubble. Everything is so shielded from them. They get these outrageous thoughts, and they don't understand how fucking, oh my god. Because clearly, hurricanes never happened before. As this picture from 2004, these hurricanes were fake hurricanes, okay? Just like fake news, they were fake hurricanes. The world may have seemed like it ended before, but no. Those hurricanes don't count, okay? Now Trump, this is Trump's fault. Everything is Trump's fault. These hurricanes, are you telling me hurricanes happening during hurricane seasons? It must be Donald Trump's fault. Just listen to Jennifer Lawrence herself.
If you can get away with paying somebody less, then do it. You know, a lot of people just don't choose the moral high road and say, no, that's not fair. And I don't know, or you could go philosophical and say, why are we so afraid of women?
Yeah, no, yeah, you got paid less because you have a shitty fucking agent. Jennifer, stop crying.
It's also scary to know it's been proven through science that human activity, that climate change is due to human activity.
Is that why you fly a private jet anywhere you go, Jennifer?
And we continue to
ignore it. Well, she's not lying there.
The only voice that we really have is through voting.
But the only thing we can do is to vote.
So
And you have voted.
and we voted, and it was really startling. You know, you're watching these hurricanes now, and it's hard, especially while promoting this movie, not to feel Mother Nature's rage, wrath.
Well, I guess, you know, she's right. Mother Nature is angry. America voted Trump, and Mother Nature wanted Hillary to win. Damn it! Mother Nature's angry. Send the hurricanes! You should have voted for Hillary. Take this! How fucking dim can you be? My God, how do you end up like this? I don't understand. It blows my mind.
It's hard, especially while promoting this movie, not to feel Mother Nature's rage, wrath.
Because hurricanes never happened before. It's hurricane season, and they use it to blame the government, Donald Trump. Oh my God, you fucking idiot! You know, bad.
So this is when I started watching his videos. I was like, oh my God, he's calling out the bullshit. I didn't realize you could do this at his level. I didn't realize that you could do this. And so seeing him all this time ago, someone I was not a fan of, did not watch his content. But then when the mainstream put hit pieces out, I was like, he can't be the guy that they're saying he is. So I have to watch. So I got to check this guy out. And I would watch him and I would see him calling shit out. And I'm like, dude, the guy's awesome. Is this why they hated him? And that's exactly what it was. And so it's another backfire on the mainstream media for going after people with lies and bullshit. And it motivated me. It says, well, damn. I mean, I didn't realize you could call this shit out and stay on the platform. And so that's what I started, you know, calling out woke Hollywood and all of this shit. And here we are. And of course, yes, PewDiePie did win at life. He's retired now with his family. And that pisses off a lot of people. They still call him a Nazi to this day. And he's living happily with his family, and very happy for him, man. He's great. He's a good dude, though, man. He's a good dude. I remember, was it Sargon? Remember Sargon was on, let me see. Sargon was on Joe Rogan and talked about PewDiePie. I don't know if you remember this, but the point that Sargon made was perfect. Let me see if I can find it. Because like Sargon basically was like talking about that parents, you know, should be lucky that someone like PewDiePie is one of the top people on the platform. I can't remember specifically where it was. I'll have to go through this but specifically right here. So this is a long time ago.
This goes back to what we were talking about before, whereas they have a hierarchy of viewership. Like what is a real network? What is a real newspaper? What is real? How we've come with our.
It's absolutely insane.
But they feel like they can get away. Disney subsidiary Maker Studios cost PewDiePie. Some of his
tip like that. And what's so strange about
it? Saying that you're going to take something out of context and then doing it, is it? Because if it is, and then you took it out of context and did exactly what he's saying you shouldn't do, that's kind of crazy.
It's mental.
It is mental.
It's absolutely insane.
But they feel like they can get away with it because they're in the hallowed halls of actual media and they're putting this stuff out there. Jamie C, did you find it? See what you can find in terms of the actual jokes that PewDiePie said that are supposedly
called him PewDiePie. Called him PewDiePie.
The funny thing though is that if you look at their numbers, they look
the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, if you look at his numbers, they look like that. And what's so strange about it?
He's making hand gestures down for the Wall Street Journal, up for PewDiePie. Yeah.
And what's so strange about it though is that PewDiePie isn't their competition. You know.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's
some of them are great.
Let's see what we got here.
My name is PewDiePie. Whoa.
Okay, so him, 27-year-old, better known as PewDiePie, became famous playing video games on YouTube.
Typical Nazis.
Okay. 53 million subscribers.
Yeah, he's got 55 now.
Jesus. The biggest star on the site by far.
Let's go inside the stories. The scoop. Oh, no, that's better. Scoop is better. Let's get into the latest scoops.
These are great.
So it's him.
I think this is the one.
Recently, some of his videos are brief, including Nazi messages, images of Adolf Hitler, and explicit anti-Semitic commentary. So this is the Washington.
Oh, I got to clarify something. Right now. Benjamin C says, DJ Cobra, you realize PewDiePie said the N-word, right? You're cool with that? I was not aware of that. Benjamin, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. Now that I know this, I need to subscribe all over again. Because damn, I didn't know he was that cool. Of course I knew that, Benjamin. Of course I fucking knew that. Why wouldn't I? That was the moment. It was the moment that Pewds became a legend.
In post version?
The Wall Street Journal.
The Wall Street Journal, rather. Sorry.
Yeah.
Following a request for comment from the Wall Street Journal, Disney said the videos are inappropriate and cut ties to PewDiePie, who ran his business.
They cost him millions of dollars over
Disney subsidiary Maker Studios. Cost PewDiePie millions. In a January 11th video, Mr. Blah, blah, blah featured two men holding a sign reading "Death to All Jews" after hiring them from a freelance website.
I like the editing.
See, the joke is his reaction to it. And the fact that you go subscribe to Keemstar, who's like another big YouTuber, he's mocking that.
I didn't think they would actually do it. I feel partially responsible, but I didn't think they would actually. It might just be my crude sense of humor, but I think there's something funny about that. And I don't think
fired
there's
back at
any,
the media
like,
for mischaracterizing him.
anti-Semitic thing about it. Again, I think there's a difference between a joke and actual, like, fuck death to all Jews. If I made a video saying, hey guys, PewDiePie here, death to all Jews, I want you to say after me, death to all Jews. And, Hitler was right. I really opened my eyes to white power. And I think it's time that we did something about it. That's essentially how they're reporting this, as if that's what I was saying or some shit like that.
It's amazing how popular he is with such a shitty grasp of English.
He's Swedish.
Apologies can camouflage messages that may still be received and celebrated by hate.
So this is what they did to him, and he addressed it, and he got even bigger because of it.
Hate groups, the Southern Poverty Law Center says.
Yeah. So if the Southern Poverty Law Center condemns you, it's becoming a bit of a badge of honor these days.
In the video since removed, he posted a video of a man dressed as Jesus Christ. I love how they have like since removed is bold and then Jesus Christ is bold.
Really nice guy.
The Jesus guy?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He only wanted to act upon God's will. Don't worry, though. He stands beside God now. He is in heaven.
Wait.
That's all, folks. Jesus out.
And I wasn't the one who made him say it. Or was it?
No, it wasn't.
I don't think
asked
so.
him.
He set up a GoFundMe page and his own website so you can take orders from Jesus himself. And also, like, can I just point out that it's a little bit ironic?
This is not what I'm looking for. Where are the actual videos of him doing the Nazi shit?
You
That's
just saw
it.
it. That was it.
That's 100% it.
That's it.
This is their article that led to all of this.
Yeah.
Right, but what we're looking at here, this is the Wall Street Journal's version of
This
it.
is the good. This is the gotcha. This is the gotcha right here. This is it. Now, as Sargon says earlier in this video about PewDiePie, you know, like, here's what the facts are about PewDiePie. Okay. Biggest YouTube star in the world at his peak. Biggest YouTube star in the world, several times over, multimillionaire, megastar. Guess what? Still with his high school sweetheart. Never any controversies, never any criminal behavior, never any wild stories about him hooking up with all of these people, whatever. That's the truth of PewDiePie. Biggest star in the world, stays with his high school sweetheart. Now he's raising a family. And that's the worst thing in the world to the mainstream media. That's it. And that's why I despise them so much. Because, I mean, look, I doubt that PewDiePie just agrees with my politics, at least primarily. I don't think he's a Trump supporter. I don't. I don't think he's an anti-Trump guy. I don't think he's a pro-Trump guy. I don't think he really cares. I think he has a level of common sense in how he looks at the world. And that's all that's it. Like, I appreciate that he just has a level-headed of common sense. I've heard him say, like, he's not a Trump supporter. I've heard him say that in videos, but this is, 5 years ago. I don't know where he stands on the things now. He probably doesn't care. He lives in Japan now. He probably doesn't keep up with United States politics that much to have like a really deep opinion on it. And it doesn't matter. So ultimately, the media going after him and the way that they did told me more about the media than it told me about PewDiePie. And he met his wife online. I thought they were like high school sweethearts. But either way, regardless of where he met her, he's been with the same girl since he was nobody. And then he becomes this big YouTube megastar and he's still with her. You don't hear any controversy. You don't hear anything about him doing these wild partying and doing all these drugs and all of that. Maybe he did, but he sure didn't make it very well known. He's not like a lot of these clowns out there, So, but yeah, man, he's a good dude by all accounts, and I'm glad that he won at life. So, let's see. Mike S says, as usual, woke trans child's transition supporter that went after and attacked J.K. Rowling relentlessly. Also busted for terrible things against kids. Is it so? The Washington, this person right here, this guy that I was just talking about, he went after J.K. Rowling as well. Well, again, and that's the mindset of like how, you have these weirdos, like they agree with JK on 99% of shit. And then because of the trans issue, they think she's the worst thing ever. Now, I think JK Rowling's a fucking left-wing psychopath. All right. I respect the hell out of her for what she's done with Harry Potter, but I think she's a left-wing nut job. I don't like her at all, but I respect what she's done and what she's created. Oh, it's a different guy. Okay. Jared from Subway is what that guy looks like. But the J.K. Rowling thing is a perfect example of how that left-wing mindset works, where J.K. Rowling agrees with them on 99% of issues, but there's one thing that they disagree with her on. Therefore, they're willing to call her all of the worst things in the world over one issue. One issue. These people are crazy, man. Little Jim's Halo says, this is the longest they ever worked, lol. Sassy Suba. What's up, Sassy Suba? Soba. Is it Soba or Suba? It's looking more like Elon was trying to get his breaks in the big, beautiful bill, and he didn't. And so he's bitter and lashing out like a typical emotionally driven lib. I actually agree with that. I actually agree with you on that. That's what it looks like. Storm Shadow says, yet those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. Jeremy preaches hard against BVS and loves The Last Jedi. What else is he hiding? Well, the sad thing is I liked Man of Steel when I first saw it too. Just like I liked The Last Jedi when I first saw it. And then I actually woke up and realized that they both were dog shit. But BVS is worse. BVS is worse than Man of Steel. I actually think The Last Jedi might be better than BVS. It's close. They're both fucking terrible. Last Jedi is probably worse. Yeah, I'd say Last Jedi is probably worse, but BVS is close, dude. BVS is a dog shit movie. It's a fucking terrible movie. Modalicious says, did you say knows that preach the loudest? No. Those. Chris Whiting says, shout out to YouTube for fixing the names. I almost got doxxed there. I don't know if they fixed it, and this is why I don't want everybody to celebrate yet. I don't know if they fixed it. I don't know if it's just because of the rollout and it's resulted back or not. I don't know. So don't celebrate this one as a win yet. But I guess we can enjoy it while it's here. Mike S says, Asmongold is winning our culture war. Pewds was winning it first. Young men need these dudes like them, guiding them away from the woke mental illness. Yeah, I mean, Asmongold's crushing it, man. He's absolutely crushing it. So I agree with you. Taker says, Jeremy, did you know PewDiePie is a YouTuber? I know. I was just informed he said the N-word. It's pretty awesome. Thomas Whited says, hail, Jeremy. Long live the snake pit. 5 a.m. It comes early. Everyone have a good night. Get some rest, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you think I'm going to be offended over somebody saying a word, you're in the wrong place. I think no words should be banned. I think everybody should be able to say whatever the fuck they want as long as they're not making any direct threats. And that's about it. So I don't care what people say. I don't care. Johnny the WizKid says, let's see. There's a saying, you can be the most intelligent person ever and still be an idiot. I'm looking at Elon and Tim Pool. They can be smart and do or say stupid things. You're far smarter than those two. I am not smarter than Elon Musk. I am not. I just am not. Eric says, Big Beautiful Bill has a 2A protection removed, and the 1.4 million illegals on Medicaid must stay on. Ridiculous. Dems are still running the country. I saw that earlier. When Teddy Roosevelt started a third party in Bull Moose, he should have said, or should have been the candidate, Teddy, most popular man in America. Third party gave us the worst president in history, Woodrow Wilson. Johnny the WizKid says, should I not get a girlfriend then to save myself massive headaches? How did you handle your own girlfriend before you were married? Did she ever give you a hard time nagging you and yakking nonstop? Well, I'm not going to get into my personal life, but any man that has a girlfriend and then a wife understands that women talk way too much. And as a man, you have to sit there and listen and just agree it's truly not worth the fight that it brings. So that's just life, man. Without getting too into the weeds on it, women can make it worth your while. So yes, get a girlfriend, Johnny. Bird Up says, Jeremy trying to trigger Mike by saying BVS might be the worst in The Last Jedi. I mean, I'm not saying it to trigger Mike, dude. BVS is just a bad fucking movie. Like, I'm sorry if I have expectations for the first time Batman and Superman are on screen together. I want to see a good movie. I want to see the characters done right. I want to see the story done right. I don't want to see that piece of shit that they gave us. And I don't want to see the Death of Superman story just completely ruined and botched. So yeah. I will always bitch about that movie. Always. And I'm never going to let it go. And I do hope that it upsets Mike every time. No, I'll take Justice League over BVS. I'll take Joss Whedon's Justice League over BVS. Yep, I will. Some people may say that's out of spite. I think I can show this on here. Okay. I can't believe I'm about to show you guys this. And I love how Colin Rugg has worded this. But here we go. New York erects a 10-foot tall pink foot mountain that can squirt water out of the tip. The sculpture was created by this artist, Mika Rottenberg. New Yorkers can squirt people by activating the pedals across the sculpture. The structure. I just got to show you. New York is cooked. I can't even leave it on that image. Well, this is almost as bad of an idea as, what was that thing? They had that thing set up in New York, and the portal or whatever it was. Remember the portal? What was that? Like the New York portal, I think. New York portal. New York portal. Yeah, the portal, right? The New York to Dublin portal reopens after flashing incident.
Structure is a portal to the old world. The portal is a live video link between.
Wait, this was always going to be a bad idea. This was always going to be a bad idea.
In Manhattan and the city of Dublin in Ireland. It just reopened after some
like to be on the other side of that portal.
very inappropriate shenanigans. The portal is a place where people are supposed to connect with folks 3,000 miles away in Dublin. They dance in Dublin. They dance in New York.
Nobody's doing this for dance. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe what was happening is in Dublin, people were holding up videos of 9/11, I think, to the portal to New York, because of course they were.
They waved to strangers in New York. They waved to strangers from Dublin. Unfortunately, they also did other things like this knucklehead who mooned New Yorkers. And she was arrested in Dublin on day one for twerking at the portal. But nothing beats the wild antics of this woman in New York. She lifted her shirt and flashed stunned onlookers in Ireland. The portal was shut down soon after. Inside Edition tracked down Ava Louise, whose eye-popping antics helped close the portal.
I'm getting a lot of death threats, and it's pretty weird. I mean, I personally see horrible things on the internet every single day, and I don't feel the need to harass people.
The portal now has
Great personality.
AI technology that detects in real time any inappropriate gesture. The portal image will blur so the mischief can't be seen on the other side of the Atlantic. There are also other safeguards, including limited hours, security guards, and steel barriers. Actor Paul Reiser and the Doobie Brothers, Michael McDonald, stopped by.
Mike's family is originally from Ireland, so I just made a movie in Dublin, so this felt like going home.
We need your help.
Dude, you can't just open things to the public and expect that they're just going to behave. They're not going to do that. Of course they're not going to do that. Good Lord, man. What a disaster. Again, the fact that anybody the fact that anybody thought that was a good idea. I mean, I think it's funny. The whole thing is funny. But I just look at the idea behind the people. They're like, this is going to be such a happy situation. And everyone's going to be so fun. And, it's going to be great. And it's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. People are going to meme. Let's see here. I see what you sent. So, Forrest, I'll read that one after my stream. And Jeremy the Cyborg. Yes, you certainly can send me those to the P.O. Box. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Let's see. Where does that one? Bird up. I got that one. Pippi says, I'm so surprised about the PewDiePie thing. Just like when I found out you used to work retail. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Pretty crazy. Dark Schwartz Rising for 20 says, took your advice from the other night and watched Crimson Tide. Great movie. Don't know how I missed that one. Any other suggestions on hidden gems? It's crazy to me that Crimson Tide is a hidden gem to people because it was so prominent to me. But yes, Crimson Tide is a fantastic movie. I could name all, like, have you seen Equilibrium with Christian Bale? Watch Equilibrium. All right. You will love it. That one is something, that's a movie that flies under the radar for a lot of people. Equilibrium, Christian Bale, Taye Diggs, Sean Bean. Yes. Phenomenal movie. I would highly recommend that one. So check that one out. The Patriot. Yes. Bale is a great actor. Yes. Christian Bale is my favorite actor. I would say, like, in line with Crimson Tide, when you want to talk about like two powerhouse actors, one that comes to mind from that era is A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. Some of the best acting you will ever see, especially from Jack Nicholson. Holy crap, that's a good movie. So I would recommend that one. That's a damn good movie. That's one of the most iconic scenes in movie history, though. So I don't know if that one flew under the radar. That's one of like the most iconic scenes ever. Hunt for Red October, Gladiator. Watched Crimson Tide for the first time since I was young, and dude, it holds up for sure. Yeah, man. Denzel and Gene Hackman. You're never going to get better than that. Pippi says, that's it. I'm going back to playing my Switch 2. Way too much internet today. Man, I wish I was playing Mario Kart tonight, but I'm not going to be able to play tonight. Man, we had, by the way, thank you for everyone that hung out playing Mario Kart with us last night. It was nearly a record stream for my D-Day Cobra Gaming channel. So thank you guys. It was so awesome that so many people were there. Bubba Doom says, drop that fucker twice. Let's see here. American Psycho with Christian Bale. That's another one. I've talked about that one before. When the first time I watched American Psycho, I was like, what am I watching? Who is this crazy guy? And that's where I first learned who Christian Bale was. And I'm like, this guy's insane. Some of the best acting you'll ever see, though. Absolutely. SBZ for 3 says, come on, Jeremy. Did you forget already that black people got cancer and AIDS because of the N-word? I know. That's what I heard, right? That's what I heard. Thank you for the Streamlabs donation, SBZ. Again, if you guys did not yet, please go check out the new CobraCast merch over on Teespring. I expect to see you guys and gals with this at the next meetup. I want to see this. This is the CobraCast official logo. So rolling that out. And we got t-shirts and hoodies over there. So if you want the t-shirt, you want the hoodie over on Teespring, go check it out. People, and you'll get them immediate. Like, I guess you're going to get it in a few days from when you order it. So, so hopefully you guys will go check that out. The IDOT shirts, they sold very well. So, hopefully, we can sell these. And it does say a Real American Podcast on it. On the bottom there, a Real American Podcast. So, Nandy says, got the red MAGA ARAP shirt. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you guys so much. Enemy of the state. Yep. Let's see. Now, we allow people to criticize me in the chat. It's totally fine. But I do not allow interstellar slander in my chat. So if you are talking bad about Interstellar, you will be banned immediately. Those are the rules. I don't make them up, but those are the rules. You cannot talk bad about Interstellar. You will be banned immediately. Those are the rules. So sorry for you. That's just how it works. So, my favorite movie, ban 'em. Oh, by the way, because of my love for Interstellar, a story about, at its core, about a father and a daughter. We had a story today. And as I've said many times, in my humble opinion, there's nothing more important that you can do in life than to be a father. And we have this story right here. Father jumps overboard to save his 5-year-old daughter who fell off of a Disney cruise ship from the 4th deck into the ocean. The ship was heading back to South Florida when the intense rescue was made. The ship was moving quickly, so quickly. It's crazy how quickly the people became tiny dots in the sea, and then you lost sight of them, said a passenger. The father reportedly jumped into the ocean the moment he realized his daughter had gone overboard. I said, I saw the mother crying, and when they rescued them, and I think that's when the tears really started flowing, because you were just so overjoyed knowing, and I prayed to God to save them, and he did, said another person on the ship. Disney Cruise has since responded to the incident, saying, "We commend our crew members and the exceptional skills and prompt actions which ensured the safe return of both guests to the ship within minutes." So right here is, I don't know what video we have right.
No, what if they died down? No, I think that they had a life jacket.
If you've ever been on a cruise ship, the I can't even process this entire situation, man. Like the situation, like I've obviously, been on cruise ships, and you see that, and you look how far down that drop is. Like the fact that this daughter fell off, and then the dad with his instincts just jumped off immediately, is the coolest thing I've ever heard in terms of the dad's response. Obviously, you wish it never happened, because it's probably going to be very traumatic for the child. I don't know what's up with the music. I don't know if this is copyrighted music or not. I will say that, like, how old's the kid again? And I don't want to get like overly critical here or anything. 5-year-old daughter. Okay. So like for me, okay. So I have, I've had, 2 smaller dogs for a while. And unfortunately, we lost one of them in the past year. And so, my other dog, she always, I'm always paranoid about this. Okay. I'm always paranoid about this. My other dog occasionally will kind of, like, how you have a recliner chair. And if you let the recliner up, Leia will sometimes go under that recliner. And one time, a long time ago, the recliner was shut, and it shut on her, but those kind of steel, kind of brackets closed, and it missed her. She got trapped under there. So I've been paranoid every day that somebody sits down. I'm like, don't shut that until you confirm that she's not under there. Don't shut that. Like, and I'm always screaming at everybody, to the point where I'm driving everybody crazy that they don't even want to sit down in the chair to let up the seat. But I'm like, hey, gotta watch out. As I have a daughter. And so when she was younger, hell, even now, I mean, she's older now, but like, even now, I'm like, call me wherever you go, whatever you're doing, make sure you are in communication with me at all times. Make sure your phone is on. Make sure your phone is charged. Make sure. I don't know how a 5-year-old ends up in a situation to even fall off of a rail of a cruise ship. I've just got to be honest. I don't understand how that even happens. With that said, big ups to the dad. Big ups to the dad for jumping in there and saving his child. But how do you even get into that situation? I don't know. But, let's see here. Where are we at? Bella Stella for 20 says couples not making the time to listen to each other is how we ended up with the creepy work husband and work wife thing. It is true. Ultimately, it's all about give and take and compromise, man. That's life. That is always life. That's always how it's going to be. I want to finish this video to see. So, okay. So let's get to this part.
I don't know. I'm just thinking they're
Oh man, I bet, dude, the ocean is no joke. So whatever situation led to this child being in a situation where she could even fall off, horrible, forget all of that now. The ocean is no joke. And for this dad to do this is the coolest thing I have heard in a long time, because the ocean is relentless. It's no joke. You have to respect the ocean. The moment you don't respect the ocean will fucking destroy you. And that's the truth. And you cannot be arrogant. You cannot be arrogant on the ocean. It will destroy you and have no sympathy whatsoever. You always have to respect the power of the ocean. Always. That's crazy, man. Jeez. It's pretty terrifying, man. But I'm really happy. I'm really happy that they everything's okay. But what a scary situation. The Blue Futon says, hate to say it, but the parents are somewhat at fault. She was 100% climbing the barrier and the parents were not paying attention. I have been on the ship, or he Michael Jacksoned her. God, that Michael Jackson moment was crazy. That was a crazy moment right there. Let's see. Taker says Gary had a chat on his nooner that was something like colored Momo, but he said colored homo. He said ethically instead of hang on. I don't even know. I can't read through Gary's mishaps. So Gary is he worse than me on super chats? I don't know. Who's worse, me or Gary on super chats? Who reads them worse? So he said ethnically instead of ethically. Is that what it was? Who's worse? Gary barely. Gary's worse. Beardo. People are saying Beardo. All right, we're gonna poll the chat. All right, who reads super chats worse? All right. Worst super chat reader. All right. Worst super chat reader. Gary. Jeremy. And then we'll put Beardo. Add option. Beardo. All right. All right, let's see what you say. Worst super chat reader, Gary, Jeremy, Beardo. Good Good Lord. Nandy says L parents for not watching. W dad for the save. Agreed. I don't want to criticize the dad at all, man, because obviously it's just a terrible situation, and he's awesome for what he did. So, Ashton says facts. I went surfing one time in 10 to 14 foot waves and got pummeled into a washing machine for about 15 seconds, but it felt like an eternity. Yeah, I mean, I've grown up in the state of Florida for. I mean, I moved here when I was like 16, I think. And so I've spent a lot of time at the beach, and I have, I've seen the ocean do some damage to people, and I've been in some pretty crazy situations as well. I mean, I'm a pretty good swimmer. I guess I'm a really good swimmer actually, but I would never I don't put myself in situations I can't control or handle though. But I've been in some, you have like the red flag, the yellow flag, blue flag that kind of, blue is calm, green is calm. Yellow is kind of like be very cautious. And then red flag is do not enter. The undertow is going to be bad. And I've been in red flag waters before, and the undertow is unbelievably brutal. It's scary, dude. So yeah, Beardo's running away with this one. So Beardo, 66%, Gary at 24%, Jeremy at 10%. OG says it's Gary. He read a coffee ad yeah, we just talked about this as ethnically cleansed. Dude, does somebody have a clip of this? Does somebody have a clip? I need to see this. I need to see this. I need to see it. Bird Up says, I will always vote Beardo in these polls because he read F-16 Fighting Falcon as Final Fantasy 16 in one of my super chats. I got heat in the chat because of that retard. 8 o'clock says it's got to be Gary because he locks his member messages to 50 characters so he doesn't read too much. Vault 95 says Beardo's first Metal Gear Solid run, he pronounced ration as ration. Oh my God. I love it. You know who's the best super chat reader though? Do I need to say it or is the chat going to say it? The best super chat reader in the 199 is Ryan, and it's not even close. It's Ryan. Ryan is easily the best. Not even close. Ryan is easily the best super chat reader. Let's see. I got that one. I love our little community, our retarded community. Let me see what's going on Twitter really quick. See if I've missed anything. Let's see. All right, who is this? I don't know. This showed up in my feed. CNN asked me why Elon Musk is wrong about the big, beautiful bill. Here's my answer. Okay.
Elon Musk is wrong about it.
Well, the big, beautiful bill is not merely a good bill. It's a great bill. You take President Trump's campaign promises. Think about it. Deliver tax relief for working families. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. Delivering tax relief for seniors. That benefits hardworking Americans all over this country. That's in the big, beautiful bill. Increase in border security of $70 billion, a one-time increase to ensure that we have more detention center space, more ICE agents, a fully sealed border. The truth is that the illegal migrants that came into this country under President Biden, over 12 million, they're costing taxpayers about $150 billion a year.
But also CBO, speaking of money to taxpayers, says that this bill could increase it by like trillions. I mean, you have a number that's talking about if taxpayer money is an issue. Is that not a concern of yours?
Well, the interesting thing about the CVO survey, their forecast is that they don't take into account, one, the tariff revenue, which is going to be about $2 trillion over the next 10 years. Number two, they don't take into account—
If the tariff revenue stands,
Sure,
right?
but
That's
just,
an if, but go
and
ahead.
there's a lot of ifs here.
Sure.
And the second one is if you secure the border and save taxpayers $150 billion a year, Trump has done that 99% reduction in border crossings since President Biden was thrown out of office. What ends up happening, Laura, is you save the taxpayer money, in the process. The CBO has not put that in their model. And then finally, they assumed that the Trump tax cuts, which everybody in DC, Republican and Democrat, would tell you were going to continue, they assumed they would expire, and therefore their model does not accurately reflect that. The truth of the matter is the CBO is not a nonpartisan organization, Laura. 8 out of 10 employees who work there are registered Democrats. We should be skeptical of the forecast for that reason, but also for the substantive reasons I just laid out.
The Republicans also have touted the CBO over time. Is it not a good organization or good entity at all if it doesn't support what you're saying?
No, what the CBO did 20 years ago, 30 years ago under President Clinton or President Bush is very different than the highly polarized environment that exists today. I think both you and I can agree with that. The truth of the matter is when there's gaping holes in their models and forecasts, when it comes to tariff revenue, when it comes to the actual net benefit of cutting out illegal labor.
I feel like this guy tries to talk smarter than he really is. He sounds, and I don't know who this guy is, but it sounds like this guy, he talks like how I used to make the proper Jeremy jokes. You know, I don't dislike him, but it's just like seemed like he's trying to sound more intellectual. Like I'm speaking very properly. I'm speaking very properly. You know, he just doesn't talk like a normal human being. He probably is a smart guy, but he's not. He doesn't talk like a normal human being. He talks like a robot, which always is weird to me. I think he's involved in Doge in some capacity, though.
Illegal immigration that actually saves the taxpayer money. The CBO model does not estimate that whatsoever. This is a good bill. It delivers on President Trump's promises, and it's a shame that because it doesn't have Elon Musk's electric vehicle subsidies that he would oppose it.
Ooh. And that's really what this comes down to is Elon just seems butthurt. And I just saw a tweet the Quartering put out. He quote tweeted this one, and he's right. So this is right here. Elon will instruct his influencers to start pushing propaganda against Trump's big, beautiful bill. Pay them no mind. They are being paid to push Elon propaganda. FYI, most of them don't even live in America. That is true. Who is Elon retweeting right now? And this is where Elon loses me, is the people that he continues to signal boost are fucking horrible people. Like, what's the guy's name? The guy from Malaysia. What's his fucking name? Ian Miles Chong. Ian Miles Chong. And that Mario guy right here. Look, Elon just quote tweeted him. This Mario guy. This guy's a piece of shit. But Elon quote tweets him all the time. All the time. And they know that if they say what Elon wants them to say, he's going to retweet them. Same with Ian Miles Chungus. Oh my gosh, man. So that's going to happen. Yeah, he's retweeting all the libertarians. Ron Paul. Rand Paul. Probably have Thomas Massey here in a minute. Tom Tillis, another guy that Trump is going to war with, and Elon's retweeting him. Again, he's welcome to do that. He's welcome to do that. But it's pretty easy to see what he's doing. It's pretty easy to see exactly what he's doing. So there's the Mario guy again. And the people, like, these guys are, he has some terrible people that he has surrounded himself with. To be fair, Trump did the same thing in his first administration, surrounded himself with a lot of bad people. But the difference is how does Elon not seen through some of these guys? I don't think that it's even a matter of did he see through them. It's that these guys are willing to agree with everything Elon wants them to agree with. And so he keeps them in his little circle of Twitter retweets. So, let's see here. Mickey's Fun Time says, Beardo read my name as Mickey's Furniture once. Holy crap. How do you get furniture out of this? Rob says, Beardo and Gary both messed up my name, but Gary was epic because I got a happy birthday song out of it. Sally says, Beardo misreading MC Hammer is my favorite. Dude, he said Mick Hammer. He said Mick Hammer. How do you say Mick Hammer? He said Mick Hammer. Taker says that ad read on Forbidden Frontier, I believe. Okay, noted. Nullface says Fishback was the same voice, has the same voice as Vivek. Go back and listen. You're not wrong. Drinky Crow 450. Alex Jones agrees with Elon. Geez, I never liked Alex Jones. You should have never had him on your show. Alex is a sellout. I mean, I love Alex. You know that. But Alex has been through hell and back. And so even if I disagree with Alex, which I do on some things, what the man's been through is more that I'm more sympathetic to that, what they did to Alex. So I'm never going to be mad at him or anything like that. I've heard rumors that that Elon pushed for Vance to be Trump's VP along with Donald Trump Jr. and Tucker Carlson. Okay. So I heard Vance was an Elon guy and Elon wanted Vance, and it was Donald Trump Jr., Elon Musk, and Tucker Carlson that went to bat for JD Vance to be the VP. Guess what? JD Vance is pushing the big, beautiful bill. So there you go. So I wonder how that's landing with Elon, that JD Vance is pushing the big, beautiful bill. Interesting. So Alex literally said the world is going to end. Yeah, Alex went a little overboard on the World War III stuff last week, where I was kind of like, what are you doing, Alex? What are you doing? Come on. Greedo Gaming says, I hope Vance doesn't become Pence 2.0. I'm not worried about that. He's already proven that I don't see any sign of that. I had concerns about JD Vance at first because I didn't know much about him. He has proven every concern of mine wrong. JD Vance is awesome. And he has the greatest meme of all time. So Alex Jones is overdramatic for sure. He is, but that's why we love him. That's why we love him. Freddie says, let's see. Ian is that one girl from Mean Girls making a speech and crying in a school she doesn't even go to. Oh, Ian Miles Chong. Yes. He's the worst. I love how he I have never seen the dude disagree with Elon ever. Drinky Crow for 50 says, I'm joking. I know you are. But MAGA turned on Elon real quick. F the Democrats. MAGA versus America's Party could be interesting. Trump is still the greatest prez. I don't know if MAGA's turned on Elon. I feel like Elon's turned on MAGA. I feel like Elon's turning on MAGA. I don't think MAGA's turned on Elon. I think Elon's turning on MAGA. And I think people from MAGA, like I've already said it, like I love Elon Musk. I'm thankful and appreciative of him. I'm not anti Elon Musk, but I don't appreciate what he's doing right now. If you have, so it's in reference. Okay. So how is it beneficial? So it's all relative. Okay. It's all relative. Everything is relative. So me and Gary are friends. Okay. And we have, this nice little corner of the internet. Okay. If me and Gary have a disagreement, would it be good for me and Gary to publicly fight about that disagreement for a month? What would that do to the audience? It would create hell. It would create nonsense. It would create countless YouTube videos. Or what if me and Gary have a disagreement and I call him up and I'm like, hey, I don't like this. Or he calls me up and says, I don't like this. By the way, that hasn't happened. Like me and Gary get along very well. I'm using this as an example to show that it's all relative. Well, me and Gary have our little corner. Do you know what Elon and Trump's little corner is? The entire world. That's their corner. It's the entire world. So them publicly fighting is not good in any capacity whatsoever. None. It doesn't help. It doesn't help anyone. It only creates problems, and it only helps the Democrats, in my opinion. So yeah. I mean, I know people think like when me and Gary getting arguments on Friday Night Tights, so that's the end of the world. But like that's Friday Night Tights. That's just what we do. Drunken Camera Beard says it's all relative, like your family. That's a pretty good joke. Let me see where we're at. There was another tweet that I wanted to show you guys really quickly. I just saw this on my feed. The leadership team of Elon Musk's America Party has just been announced. That's not a good team. That's not a good team. That's a pretty bad team right there. Although you need Dave Smith in there. You do need Dave Smith in there. So Venice is top middle, I claim. I mean, I think a lot of people have already claimed that spot before you and even before Elon, but I do understand where you're coming from on that. I do. But unfortunately, a lot of other dudes have claimed that spot already. Sadly enough. By the way, I Superman marketing, I'm done watching these clips. I will not watch any more Superman clips. I'm done with this shit. I can't stand it. So I'm done. I will not watch any more of these Superman clips. They are the marketing for this Superman movie has been a complete disaster. I'm done watching these short clips. They've released like 5 of them in the last couple of days, it feels like. I'm done. I will not watch them because they're ruining the movie. They're ruining the perception of the movie, and they're just giving me bad vibes all across. I'm sick and tired of seeing it, man. I really am. Drinky Crow for 50 says Elon bitched about the debt ceiling with Biden, 5-foot-tall bill. After Elon talked, went down to small bill. Vote individually. Brutal team photo. I hear you on that. It is a brutal team photo. Listen, man, I just want, I wish Elon and Trump were on the same page. They're not. But if they're not on the same page, I wish that they would just hash it out privately. I understand Elon has a huge megaphone, but I also do not think that the only megaphone that's bigger than Elon's is Trump's. And that's the problem. Is I just don't think that Elon's going to get the traction that he thinks he's going to get, unfortunately. Nips says, you want a good Superman movie, just watch Superman 1 and 2 from Donner. Agreed completely. Pippi says, they fixed the Trump animatronic at the Hall of Presidents at Magic Kingdom. Just proves it was Hillary that made to look like Trump. Yeah, I covered that yesterday on CobraCast. I was happy that the Disney adults are really upset about that. They're really emotional. They're really bothered that Daddy Trump is back at the Magic Kingdom. That really upsets them a lot. And I'm okay with that upsetting them a lot. Quelndar over on Streamlabs, ladies and gentlemen, Quelndar just dropped a proper 199, ladies and gentlemen. Quelndar says, bring back the Stars and Stripes Uncle Idot for another day. Hail the 199. You got it. You got it. Can I do that tomorrow, Quelndar? Okay. Can I do that tomorrow? I do that tomorrow for Tuesday night's main event. I'll get it launched for one more day so that you can get it. And of course, we do have for limited time only, the CobraCast merch is over on Teespring. Now I say that I don't know how campaigns work on Teespring, but let me see if I can bring it back for a short period of time. I'll let you know, or I can just get it if you just want to email me and I can get you squared away. But CobraCast merch is over there now. Hoodies, t-shirts, different colors, things like that. So make sure you go and check that out. They'll be there for a couple of weeks. And with Quelndar's proper 199, it's time to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to celebrate. The proper 199. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We all love the proper 199.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Thank you, Gwendar, for the proper 199. Elite Super Grunt. So today, my boss and I hydroplaned. We did a 180 on the road and went into the ditch where we did a 360. Luckily, we didn't flip. Count your blessings, brother. Prayers up, man. That's scary stuff, man. So glad to hear you are both okay. Scary stuff. Holy crap. Let's see. Everybody in the chat suddenly happy when Sydney Sweeney shows up. By the way, let me show you something really quick. Okay. I think I talked about this. Listen. Tom Brady, the GOAT, on and off the field, has been chatting up Sydney Sweeney at Jeff Bezos' wedding, and it may alter the course of reality. The GOAT, on and off the field, Tom Brady. You thought he was done? No. He's not done. He's not. He's going for ring number 8. So, I mean, how much better of a life can you have than Tom Brady? Like, seriously. How much better? Absolutely insane. The GOAT on and off the field. So, and like nobody, like most people are not mad. Most people in this situation, you would be like, oh, this dude's a piece of shit. You see Tom Brady, you're like, makes sense. He's the GOAT. I respect it. Most people are like, I respect it. I respect Tom for this. It works. Blue Eye Scorpio says, what the fuck does Tom Brady have that I don't? Not fair. Yeah, he's got like 7 rings. He's doing okay. So, Alpha Chad. I hated Tom Brady around ring 6. Yeah. There you go. Just to piss off Giselle. You knew Tom Brady was gonna find something to piss her off. Storm Shadow says that got to sign up to be Sydney Sweeney's BJJ coach now. Let's see. Giselle ain't gonna like this. Can you say he's trying to get that bathwater? I don't know about that. We'll see. It could be nothing. But you never know. But all right, we're going to end it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for the super chats, for the donations, Streamlabs, the Rumble rants, all of that. And thank you just for all the support. Tomorrow, Alligator Alcatraz. I'm going to cover it. I don't know what time it's happening, so I'm going to get all that worked out. If I have to stream over Tuesday night's main event, I will. But I will cover Alligator Alcatraz with President Trump if there is some coverage. And we'll go from there. So make sure, let's see, Jackson Hinkle, look him up, Jeremy. I have had that guy muted for about a year now on Twitter. So yeah, I have that guy. That's one of the most cringy accounts on Twitter. So yeah, I've had that guy muted for about a year now. So, but thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. Yeah, I'll see what time the Trump thing is, and I'll get the event set up and everything like that. I've already got a thumbnail for it. So, I will let you know as soon as I know. So, but be safe out there, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.